Great to be here and to see everyone at the Big Day In. I've done a few of these this year, and it's always exciting to see so many people who are interested in IT and are passionate about it. I want to talk today about a career in IT and how you go about it, maybe offer a few pro tips. But first of all, I'd like to just tell you a little bit about Technology One. Hands up who had actually heard of Technology One before today. Yeah, that's what I thought. We're actually one of Australia's largest software companies. We have over 300 developers. We've got offices here in Perth. We're actually based in Brisbane. Our mission statement is transforming business, making life simple. So we write what's called enterprise software that businesses use to run, so they can offer services, so the software they need to run their business. Customers we have are organisations like the City of Perth and Curtin University, Edith Cowan, Murdoch. These are all customers of ours, and they use our software to deliver services to their customers. Okay, so that's the business we're in. That's really why people don't tend to hear of us very much, because we don't sell to the public. We sell to organisations. And the state government here in WA is a big customer of ours as well. So what I'd like to talk with you about today is careers in IT in particular, and I'm going to use a mechanism to frame the conversation called Ikigai. Has anybody heard of Ikigai? Study Japanese, maybe? No? It comes from the Okinawan prefecture in Japan, and it loosely translates as a reason to get up in the morning. Now, Okinawa is one of the world's blue zones, which means that the people who live there tend to live an awful lot longer than the rest of us. Okinawans regularly live to 100 years plus. There's been a lot of research into why this is actually so, and a lot of theories put forward, but this idea of Ikigai is quite central to the Okinawan way of life. There are 4 components to it, hence the 4 circles up on the screen. Do what you love. Be good at it. Get paid for it, and make a difference in the world. If you can get those 4 things under control, you're doing pretty well. So let's break it down. First off, doing what you love. This is really important. If you go through life doing things that you don't love, then you're probably going to be pretty miserable. Okay, so finding things that you love to do is really important. So, quick show of hands. Who is easily bored? Yeah, I thought so. So am I. It's one of the key reasons why I love technology, because it's changing every 5 minutes. Okay, you study something like law and you're looking back on the last 200 years. You study IT, you're looking forward into the next 5 minutes. Okay, because it's changing that rapidly. It is just fantastic. If you're easily bored, it's the thing for you. So there are a lot of different resources available to you. You've got Coding Dojo, you've got all sorts of different things. I really encourage you to take advantage of those. I also think your school guidance counsellors are a lot better these days. When I was at school, the guidance counsellor's advice basically went like this. If you're good at maths and science, do medicine. If you're not quite so good at maths and science, do engineering. If you're good at the humanities, do law. If you don't fall into those categories, I don't want to talk to you. That was basically it, right? So not very helpful. Now, I happen to be good at languages. I was good at English, German, I did music and things like that. Wasn't really into science. But I loved technology because I was easily bored. Okay, so guidance counsellor's advice, and that was really all that we had to go on, was go and do law. So I thought, okay, well, in the absence of any other advice, I'll go and do law. So I think you guys have got an awful lot more resources available to you, and I'd encourage you to really dig into them. One of the ones that we support at Technology One is the Tech Girls Are Superheroes movement. And we're actually sponsoring the first winners, the Australian winners of Tech Girls Are Superheroes, to go to San Francisco later this year to participate in the World Tech Girls Are Superheroes Symposium. Okay, so there are a lot of these things around, and I'd really encourage you to delve into them to find out where your passion lies. Okay, as you've heard from speakers this morning, you don't have to be brilliant at maths. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. You might just absolutely love gaming and fall into it that way. Do what you love. Brings me to the next point, getting good at it. Now, there are various ways you can get good at IT. You could become a hacker, get into the dark web and start hacking government websites and stealing secrets and credit card details and things like that. 2 things you need if you're going to be a hacker, all right? You need a hoodie, and you need to be able to code in green. Very important skills for a hacker. You can also get the wrong sort of attention if you're a hacker. So I wouldn't really recommend it as a stable career choice. Another option is this. Does anybody recognise these guys? No? Yeah, a couple. Scott Farquhar and Mike Cannon-Brookes, the founders of Atlassian, dropped out of university in Sydney and started a company on a $10,000 credit card limit. Last year, they floated on the NASDAQ in the United States, and the company is now worth north of $4 billion. That's very successful, but it's also a very risky way to go about building a career. And my hat is off to people like this. I cannot do this. The founder of Technology One, Adrian DeMarco, is an entrepreneur like these guys. He is regularly taking enormous risks to deliver on his vision for what IT should be. And we need entrepreneurs. They're absolutely vital, but it's not everybody's personality type, and it's certainly not mine. So, what's the other option? Go to university. University is a great place to get good at stuff. Yeah, you learn a broad range of things. You can try out different subjects and see what you like and what you don't like. There's also a lot of other stuff going on at university you can take advantage of. There are expos, there are all sorts of different extracurricular activities that can help you find out what you want to do, and it can actually supplement the education you get in the classrooms. Okay, which is really important and brings me to the next point. Show me the money. So I get good at stuff, that's great. I go to university, I get a degree, I'm really good. But how do I get a job? How do I get employers to notice me? Now, there are a number of different ways you can do this. You get career days, and career days are great. You go up to a booth, you talk to somebody, you see if you like them, and they see if they like you, and maybe you get a job that way. A much better way to do it is through internships or graduate programs. So these actually let you work within an organisation for a period of time. And that lets the organisation have a look at you to see if you're a good fit, but more importantly, it lets you look at the organisation, because culture is really important. Cultural fit is vital. If you work for a company that has a great name, but the corporate culture is not for you, then you're probably going to be miserable. You're not going to enjoy it very much. So internships and programs like that are a great way to suss out corporate culture, or government culture as well, because governments offer internships, and work out where you actually want to fit in the world. Okay? Another great way to supplement that traditional classroom education is through hack days. And I think hack days are absolutely fantastic. Has anyone participated in hack days yet? No? Got a couple. Great. You can do them in high school. They are available. They do tend to be more at the university level at the moment, but there are quite a few high school ones around. Hack days are absolutely wonderful because they teach you some skills that are directly relevant to the workplace. If you go to work in IT, you work in a small team, you work under pressure because normally you've only got a day or a weekend to deliver something. You work out that there are different roles that people have to play. It's not all just about writing code. There might be the hardware person who's handling the robotics. There might be the analyst who's actually saying, well, how is this thing going to be used? You know, what scenarios do we need to support? You've got user experience people who are saying, if this stuff doesn't look good, and if it's not easy to use, then no one's going to use it. It doesn't matter how good your code is. But my favourite part of hack days, my favourite part is the pitch. So this is where you get to stand up in front of a group of people and pitch your idea in 2 minutes, maybe 3 if you're lucky. So you have to be crystal clear on what your idea is, and you have to be able to communicate it to the audience in a way that makes them want to invest in you. So if you've ever watched Shark Tank, it's a great example of the pitch. You've got a group of people who are all there wanting to invest money in your idea, and you have to sell your idea to them. So the pitch is very valuable. We run hack days at Technology One, four hack days a year, where the organisation basically gives everybody the day off to work on an idea of their choice. And it can be anything, completely unrelated to their day job. Okay, and we take those ideas, everybody in the company gets to see the pitch. So this is actually a picture of a real pitch from our most recent hack day, which we held about a month ago. And the best ideas from the hack day actually become part of Technology One. They might become part of our product if they're actually a coding hack, or they might become part of how we run our business if they're more of a business-oriented hack. So one of the winners from our last one was, we need to change our license structure. You know, it can be something like that. So hacking is not just about writing code. Hacking is about all sorts of different things. It's finding great solutions to problems. I would really encourage you to get into hack days any way you can, because they're awesome. Now, we've heard a bit about the jobs of the future, and there's been doom and gloom stuff about 60% of jobs will be automated, and 40% of people in this room will have jobs that don't even exist yet, things like that. So I went out and found one that I thought was a little bit amusing, which is the robot counsellor. So they reckon in coming years, as robotics become more prevalent and robots become more lifelike and they're able to take voice commands and actually speak back to us, that we're going to need help in learning how to relate to robots. So the robot counsellor is a person that basically helps other people deal with robots in the workplace, at home, in society. Okay? It doesn't sound like a very technical job, does it? But you need a strong background in technology to be able to actually do a job like that. Now, the whole jobs of the future thing is actually very amusing for me, because I'm a technology evangelist. That's what I do. My job didn't exist 15 years ago. So I could never have come out of school or university saying, I'm going to be a technology evangelist. That's my career. Okay, so I don't think new jobs and jobs of the future is anything to be scared of. I think it's more something to be excited about. All right, so that brings us to the last point of Ikigai, which is making a difference in the world. Now this one can be tough, and it can take a very long time to actually find out. You can go through your whole life never really understanding or knowing what you're giving back to the world. So what I'd like to do is just show you a couple of the things that Technology One is doing. We're part of the Pledge 1% movement, which means that we pledge 1% of our profits, 1% of our time, and 1% of our product, which in our case is computer software, to charitable organisations and charitable causes. Now that may be donating money, that may be donating time to go out and work in the community, and donating our software to charitable institutions. So to give you a couple of examples, this is the School of St Jude in Tanzania. It's a private school that was started by an Australian. It's now run 100% by Tanzanians, which is a great accomplishment, and they graduated their first high school class last year. We sponsor their computer lab. So you can see here, computers are obviously a very valuable resource in Tanzania, so they're nailed down, literally. But we sponsor the IT resources in the computer lab for that school, and we're very proud of that. We also provide the software that let our customers deliver changes in the world and be a positive change. So if you've ever participated in Genes for Genes Day, the CMRI, the Children's Medical Research Institute, is a customer of ours, and the Genes for Genes campaign is run using our software. So the team that wrote that software is a small team, half a dozen people, with 2 graduates in it. So 2 people who came straight out of university to work at Technology One developed the software that is used for Genes for Genes. And that's just one small example of the way that our software is used to make a difference in the world. All right, so now I'd like to invite one of our graduates up to talk about his experience in coming into a graduate career at Technology One. So Ryan, you come up. Give Ryan a round of applause, please.
G'day.
So Ryan, give us a bit of a background on how you got to study IT.
So I've always been interested in technology in some ways, you can probably guess. So I've always been surrounded by computers in various stages of working. So by year 10, I was sort of starting to get into textbooks, following on that, looking at code appearing on a screen, following nice little GUI interfaces and all that sort of thing. So by year 12, I was like, I need to actually think about what I want to do for the rest of my life, what I get into. I figured, I'm still enjoying coding and all that, why not go into university?
Okay, and what did you study at uni?
So I studied a Bachelor of Technology Computing Studies. So basically I covered a broad range at IT, of course. And I covered a broad range of programming languages, networking, all that sort of, and databases, and all that sort of generalist technology things that you need to be aware of. I was particularly interested in programming, of course.
Great, and how did you get into the graduate program at Tech One?
So after I finished my degree, I decided to start applying for graduate programs, and I saw the technology one application, went in and did the whole usual phone interview application type process. And after that, I got given a take-home exercise, did that overnight, sent it in, went to do the interview phase of that. After that was successful, and then a short time after that, I was heading on a plane to Brisbane to do the graduate program with a bunch of other really enthusiastic people.
Okay, and what jobs do the graduates have? What are the different types of jobs in your graduate intake?
So in our intake, we were all graduate developers, and we were all sort of very technical. We sort of worked with an enterprise architect who sort of looks at the whole thing, and we worked on sort of software to make error reporting work, relaying that to developers and all the stakeholders and that, so people know what's going on with the software.
Okay, and what have you done so far that you're most proud of in your time at Tech One?
So I'm relatively new, so most of my proudest moments are when I've delivered demoable software in a very short time span, like 1 or 2 weeks. But in time, I'll probably see some of the broader picture stuff that I've made come to fruition. People will use that software and I'll be able to see the difference that makes.
Okay, and what is next for your career at Tech One, do you think?
So I'm still enjoying development, and I'm really enjoying development, so I'm going to continue on the development pathway technology one. So that will basically involve more responsibility, more control and architecting of the software.
Okay, very good. All right, well, that's going to work now. That's all we have time for in our presentation, so we've left some time for your questions. If you have any questions, you put your hand up, please. Yes, in the middle there. It's a good question. Based on our slogan, how would we transform a business and make life simple? I'll give you the example of Technology One, how we transformed our business, because we firmly believe that if we're going to ask our customers to do something, we have to do it ourselves. So 5 years ago, we were a traditional on-premise software company. We had a server room, we had an army of IT staff to support servers and networks and all that sort of thing. We made the decision that we wanted to go to the cloud. So we signed up for Gmail, we threw away our email servers, we took all of our R&D to the cloud, so we work with Amazon Web Services out of Sydney to host all of our R&D environments. We use Atlassian software, Jira and Confluence, to manage our software development teams, and we took all of our own software to be delivered as a service. The changes that has made in our organisation are unbelievable. So we are leading that and showing our customers that they can do the same sort of thing using our software from the cloud. Yeah, over here. Sorry?
What companies does Technology One?
Sorry, could you ask?
What companies have you given your service or software to?
What companies?
Yeah.
We serve 8 vertical markets. Education, higher and vocational education is a big one for us. Local government is big as well. So City of Perth, City of Fremantle use our software. Curtin University, Edith Cowan and Murdoch here in WA also use our software. And they use it to deliver services to their customers. So if any of you do choose to go to Curtin, they use our software to manage all of their students. So you'd be using our software to manage your courses, to enrol, to get your results and that sort of thing. Yeah, up the back there.
What's your favourite colour?
My favourite colour? It's got to be Technology One blue. I get to wear it every day, so definitely blue. Yeah, again. That is an awesome question. How much has the company grown? So I'm going to reveal my age a little bit here. I joined Technology One 20 years ago, and at that point in 1996 we had 45 staff. So I had 6 job interviews. It was basically a startup, and I felt like I'd been interviewed by the entire company. It was just amazing. Back then I got to do everything. I was a developer, I was out on the road installing the software, and my first consulting gig actually was here in Perth. So fond memories of the place. I've done sales, I've worked internally in the organisation, and now I'm getting to be an R&D evangelist. We now have over 1,200 staff worldwide, with offices in 7 different countries. So pretty big growth. Yeah. Our offices are all around Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, the UK, and we've just announced an American office in the next 12 to 18 months. Yes, right up the back there.
In what way do you implement your mission statement and make it a reality?
Implementing what, sorry?
In what way do you implement your mission statement, which you were talking about earlier?
We implement it through a deep engagement with our customers. So rather than developing software that we think is pretty cool and then kind of throwing it over the fence and hoping someone uses it, we actually engage directly with our customers. So we send people out to our customers and sit with them and see how they're doing their business, and then bring that information back into our organisation so that we can work out what we need to do to transform their business. So we're not making the assumption that we know everything. We are always learning from our customers, and we have a relatively small customer base in the software as a service world. We've got about just over 1,000 customers. So we actually physically visit all of those customers, and we get to know very deeply what their business is about. So that's how we do it. Right up the back there, yeah.
With your hackathons, do you support breaking security and going through security so that they can show you the problems with it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, we've got 2 interns at the moment at Technology One who are basically red teaming our software to find flaws in it. So it's not just a Hack Day project that happens on the side, it's actually part of our core business. We take the youngest and brightest people who've got experience that we don't have at Tech One, and we actually ask them to do that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's very important for us. Yes, yeah. Hackathons into schools, absolutely. At the moment we're sponsoring hackathons at the university level, but definitely the next step past that is down to the school level. There are already hackathons that you can participate in at a school level. If you Google Hackathon Perth, I'm sure you'll find half a dozen very quickly. Yeah, down here.
Does Technology One hire penetration testing employees?
We have a security team. However, we also do independent security assessments as part of our certification. So not just within the organisation, but also independent companies. Yeah.
Have your company's security ever been breached?
Have we ever been breached by hackers? We are required under the Privacy Act to notify any breach. We have not had to notify a breach yet. Now, there is a saying that says there are 2 types of companies, those that have been breached and know about it, and those who have been breached and don't know about it yet. Okay, we actually have a very robust security system because we're assuming all the time that we have been breached and that we need to catch up and find it. Okay, so that's kind of our approach, is security is very important and we live it every day. All right, we are out of time, I'm afraid. thank you very much, and please thank Ryan as well.